back. Let's chat commodities now. And we have the latest numbers in sense of sugar output being released from ISMA today. They had a meeting where they're expecting the cane acreage up by nearly 9% as compared to the last year. That stands at around 52.68 lakh hectares. And the other number to keep an eye is on the sugar production itself for the year 2020-21. That is expected at 330 lakh tons. The couple of things that the markets are now looking for is, one, the crushing season is begun. Two, the markets are still awaiting the sugar export subsidy for the current year. And the international markets have been running up, and some demand in India also has picked up because of the festival season here. Clearly, the demand is still below the pre-pandemic levels, but some recovery clearly has been seen on a month-on-month basis after that complete lockdown that we saw for the month of March and April. M. Manickam, Chairman and Managing Director of Sakthi Sugars, now joins us to discuss that further. Mr. Manickam, hi, good to have you. Happy festivities. And we have seen the sugar demand kind of inch up, especially in the northern part of India. The south and west have seen it still slightly on the lower side. I want to talk to you about the demand numbers itself first.
Yeah, I think demand numbers will have to pick up. But, actually, if we look at it, a lot of the hotels and other things have not opened up fully. So we need to wait and see how much the opening up happens before the demand comes back to normal. So I think it will take some more time for it to come.
Mr. Manickam, the one thing that, while of course it is festivities and people tend to buy a lot of things, and food and sugar and sweets and chocolates is one part of it, would you say that in the coming months, this quarter essentially, we will see those numbers come back?
I'm not sure if people are going to be gifting sweets this time, because, nobody wants to take anything from anyone, right? So you might even have the gifts of sweets going down a little bit. So your demand may not be as, normal, as normally we would expect. And I would suspect that it will go a little slower than normal.
So if you were to compare last year, Mr. Manickam, what number would you be working with for this quarter?
I'm not able to give you exact number, but maybe about 5% less than last year.
And also, what's your sense on the ISMA releasing sugar estimates at around 33 million tons, 330.23 lakh tons to be exact? How is the industry reacting to that? With the export subsidy yet to be announced, that's a bit of a concern with the industry.
Yeah, it is, because the last year's export subsidy has not been fully released yet. And going forward, I think the government also cautioned that they may not be able to do it because of WTO concerns and all that. So we need to really see what they come out with and how they're going to manage it.
And how long do you think the industry can wait for this? Because this should have really come like last month.
I know. But actually, as I've been always saying, they should probably reduce MSP. We need to discourage cane. With this kind of production, we can't be producing and holding like they've done for all the other grains. We should probably look at some kind of a reduction in the price, or huge consumption in ethanol, which has not really come about as much as we thought. So until we divert almost about 10% of our sugar production into ethanol, we don't see a major help coming in any way.
And how are you also looking at the kind of production itself that has come in? We've seen above normal rainfall for the 4th month. October rainfall itself is 14% more than normal. While Karnataka and Maharashtra do look good, there are concerns coming in from UP yet again. Yeah,
and now what's happened is Karnataka and Maharashtra will be producing more. UP, we need to see how the farmers react, because the unpaid cane prices plus the subsidies to be received from the government. So they might even divert it to local crops, but we'll have to see how it comes about.
So how is the industry really looking at the festival demand and the festival season itself? How do you see this calendar year being closed as compared to last year? Do you see demand come back, and how are you looking at projections, let's say from 6 to 9 months from now?
We're not really looking at demand coming back, and we need to see, how the COVID spread is controlled, and then how the economy comes back up. And I think the World Bank is talking about 10% degrowth. So it's not, the sugar industry is not going to be an exception, because a lot of our consumption is going to bulk consumers like hotels and sweet makers. And that's something which is going to be negative. So we need to really watch. And I don't think anybody is in a big festive mood to spend money right now. So that's another, real problem that we have.
It is. Mr. Manickam, my final question is about the global markets, where we've seen the ICE raw sugar prices also continue to gain up, while the fundamentals are okay, but it really has been about the liquidity available and a lot of people continuing to be bullish. And with Indian export subsidies still uncertain, I think the international markets have taken a strong cue from that as well. How do you look those as cues? And also, what's your sense on the sugar prices then moving forward?
Yeah, world market, actually, if you really look at it, India is a major influencer. If India starts dumping sugar in the world market, it comes down. So we don't really gain by getting into the world market, because we never do marginal exports. We do huge quantities in 1 hour. We import. We also go and import huge quantities. So I don't think the world markets are going to react until India really comes out with a definitive policy as to what the government wants to do.
Well, yes, there is a lot of weight there. We never heard from the MSP, and the export subsidy itself is in a bit of an uncertain territories there, and it has been delayed indefinitely as of now. Mr. Manickam, thank you so much for joining us. So as far as the festivals go, while the sugar demand seems to be picking up, but not as much as last year, and as Mr. Manickam was saying, nobody is gifting, nobody is taking gifts when it comes to sweets and sugar. So yes, that's going to be a bit of a dampener when it comes to enjoying with your near and dear ones when it comes to food there. But moving on, and we have now Kunal Shah of Nirmal Bang Commodities joining us on a phone line. Kunal, hi. You heard about sugar. While the prices have been steady there, we've seen prices of other agriculture commodities run up. I want to start with agriculture right now because it is festivities, and we've seen various other agri-commodities actually do well. Whether it is sentiment or the actual demand is something that we will have to see in the numbers. But whether it's edible oils, pulses, we've seen many of these commodities continue to run up.
Yeah. So the fundamental of agriculture commodity is very bullish. Weaker dollar, massive liquidity, and weather anomalies.
And are you expecting this festivity?
Yeah, I think, and the festivity of India. So all these factors makes commodity very, very, very bullish. Agriculture commodity. I think going forward, we are going to see another high of agriculture. Most of the agriculture commodity have already rallied, and going forward, I am expecting this bull run to continue with the 4 factors what I mentioned. That is going to add another leg of bull run to this already bullish agriculture commodities.
So while the agriculture commodities are expected to do well, what's your sense on the gold and silver itself? Because there are industry reports suggesting that the pent-up demand as the lockdowns ease, as the festivities begin, there is that physical buying in gold and silver as well happening. So if somebody was wanting to buy, what kind of prices can one expect until the end of this year?
I think gold, sorry, I just missed your question. What you were saying?
Yeah, Kunal, I was asking you, or if somebody was wanting to buy gold and silver in this festival season, where can they expect the prices? Let's say until Diwali, that's a month from now, or by the end of this year.
I think they are going to go up quite sharply in next 1 month. 3 factors. The investment demand is robust. Another stimulus is expected out of US. And third reason, India and China, retail demand is also back. So I think gold and silver both are going to rally. By Diwali, we are going to see a new 53,500, and by the end of the year, 54,000. For silver, by Diwali, we are going to see again 68, 69, and by end of the year, we are going to see 72 to 73,000 again.
All right, so that's an easy 10,000 of a gain for the silver prices, another 2,000 to 3,000 of a run up in gold as well. Kunal, thank you so much for giving us those strategies. So it is bullish gold and silver and very bullish agriculture commodities is the view coming in from Nirmal Bang Commodities. But with that, that's all the time on the show. Thank you for watching.